Today is the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. This date, December 7th, 1941, the Japanese forces made a surprise attack on our naval base in Honolulu early in the morning before 8 o'clock, and thousands of people, service members, lost their lives and many more were wounded. We had 8 battleships that all incurred damage. 4 of them actually sunk. And this also initiated the Pacific War, where these Japanese forces also attacked other sites in Asia, like Philippines, Guam, and Hong Kong. And the president at the time, FDR, President Roosevelt, he made a speech the next day saying, "This is a date that will go down in infamy." And it really was the impetus for the United States to get involved in World War II, because at the time, we were just a neutral party. And historians believe that when the United States entered into the war, it really shifted the trajectory of the war and was one of the main reasons for the victory of the war against the spreading communism and authoritarianism. And so I'm thankful that our country still recognizes and memorializes, celebrates, and teaches on what happened at Pearl Harbor. But more importantly, this is beyond just American history. This is human history, global events, because it impacts so many people. And this idea that there are some who want more than what they have. Japan wanted to expand. Germany wanted to expand. Throughout history, human history, empires, dictators, leaders, rulers, governments, militaries have wanted to expand, to gain control, power, and authority. And that same spirit is still in operation today. And I believe, as well as honoring those who gave their lives and got wounded or still serve in the military, we're so thankful for these people and their families, for the sacrifice that they're making on behalf of freedom. But I believe another way that we can honor what took place, and rather than being a day of infamy, that it can actually be a day that helps enlighten us to understand the schemes that propel, that motivate people to do certain things. And I believe it's that same spirit that's in operation today, but yet maybe on smaller scales, where this desire for more than what we have is still going on and enticing people to commit crime. There is a huge crime wave going on here in America, all throughout America, in many of the big cities. There's a lot of smash and grab, robberies, looting that's going on. People are being followed home from their car as they're driving and then being robbed at their homes. And so the increase in crime in the past year and a half has been pretty stunning, not only in crime, but in murders. And so what this is that same spirit, even though we're not in a global war like we were back in the 40s, there is still a war going on where a spirit is tempting people to engage in negative behavior, in destructive behavior, where they want more than they have, and they will violate someone else in order to get it. And so this is a day where not only we can remember what happened, but we can be proactive and aware of how these types of movements begin, and be able to pray against them. Because remember, our battle is not against flesh and blood. Our battle is not against the Japanese or against the Germans, or in this day and age against the Chinese or the Russians or Iran. It's not against people. Why? Because God loves the world. He loves people. He created people in his image. But there is a spirit, a spiritual battle, a war going on in the heavenlies that Paul talks about. And that is the battle that we should be aware of. And we have authority to engage in that, not through weapons of human warfare, but through spiritual weapons. And really the most important weapon is our prayers. That God has invited us, he's seated us with him in heavenly places to actually intercede on behalf of the world, so that people will listen to the right spirit, rather than a spirit that entices others to take from other people, to steal, kill, and destroy, which is the MO of the enemy in John 10, that the enemy wants to really take life away from people, whether it's property, whether it's health, whether it's livelihood, whatever it is. It's an expansion of the kingdom of darkness. And we, as children of the Father, of the living God, we are seeking, we have a commission, we have authority to expand the kingdom of light. And thankfully, light is greater than darkness. In fact, Jesus is the light of the world in John 1. And when he came into the world, the darkness could not overcome it. Why? Because darkness has to flee in the presence of light. And how fast does it flee? When you turn on a light switch in a dark room, it flees at the speed of light. And so this is an encouragement, I believe, on this day as we remember Pearl Harbor, that we can also talk with the Lord about the war that is still going on, even to this day, that same spirit that influenced actors, people, to engage in destructive behavior, to make decisions that really hurt people. It's still going on today, and we can take a stand to pray against that, so that people will hear from the right spirit and choose light over darkness, choose good over evil, to choose life over death. And so bless you as you spend time with him, to really raise your awareness. Allow the Lord to open our eyes so that we can see things as they really are. And rather than get engaged in earthly battle where we don't fight with guns or with fists or even with our words and criticizing and bringing people down, but we do warfare, in a sense, through love in intercession. I remember when Jesus was hanging on the cross and he said to the Father, he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." But now he's our great high priest in the order of Melchizedek, and he always lives to make intercession for us. And so bless you today as we remember Pearl Harbor, that we also have a commission to pray for what is going on in our world today, so that the kingdom of light will continue to advance and overcome the kingdom of darkness.